Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. My name's Ryan. I'm joined by my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin.
Hey-o.
And it is August, so you know what that means. It's time for Halloween season. And tonight we thought we would give a little preview of Hallow Geek and Halloween in general. So some of the events that have already started or will be starting in like 2 weeks, which is crazy. But Halloween, I mean, Lowe's, Home Depot already have their Halloween decorations for sale. Yeah, they got some cool ones.
Costco has some things too.
They got to get it out now because 2 weeks before Halloween, everything's going to be Christmas. So
Yes.
they're just not having it.
Yes, they have Haunted Mansion stuff this year. That looks cool. They have 12-foot mummy.
Because if you get it out way before, at least you can put it out to decorate, right? Because that was always the problem. Is like you get this stuff right at Christmas or a couple weeks before, and you don't enjoy it. So it's a good thing they put this stuff out early.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But starting a Halloween event in August at Disney World
in Florida.
I've watched videos of people in full costumes, and they look like they're just dying. It's just like the zombies really walking around because they're just like covered in sweat. And before we get to Halloween stuff, little news. It's going to be scarier, more terrifying than anything that we talked about tonight dealing with Halloween. It was announced today that the Star Cruiser, everybody's favorite expensive Star Wars cruise ship in space, that I want to go on, but it's too expensive, has already started raising prices on certain things.
No.
Yes. So they have a photo package you can do. So basically a photographer, like PhotoPass, sort of.
Yeah.
Takes you around and do a portrait session with you. It was $99, which I wouldn't have paid for it for $99 because I've seen the pictures and some of them are okay. Some of them are not okay. They raised the price today from $99 to a shocking price of $399.
What?
For the 30-minute portrait session, where you're not promised access to the cool parts of the ship. Most of your pictures will probably be in a hallway.
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't want. For one, I didn't even know about that part of it. Like I didn't realize that was a thing. But so it was 90 something. Now it's $300.
$99 for a 30-minute portrait session, where they take you. A photographer takes you around the ship and takes your picture.
Pictures, but I didn't realize that's what that was. Okay.
Today they raised it to $399 for the 30-minute portrait session, where they take you around the ship. But if there's events going on, like on the bridge or in other areas of the ship, you can't get your picture taken there. So you may just end up with a bunch of hallway pictures.
Yeah. That's crazy. But I guess the goal is to get your picture with the characters, some of them, right? No?
Oh, it's just for you.
Just for scenery.
Yeah, just for scenery.
And the pictures will look like this, where you're kind of off center.
Pretty much. I've seen
probably
pictures.
in it.
300. I don't know if they're just like, hey, we don't really want to do this, so let's just raise it to $400 and maybe people won't get it.
That's crazy. I saw the Princess and Scoundrel that they had a video that they were doing with Dano. And it said something about like the changes and like, oh great, good grief, what are they changing already? And because we knew that would happen though, right? Is that they would make it this great looking thing and have all these promises, but then they're going to have to scale it back because it's not feasible. All right, just like Galaxy's Edge.
I still predict one day, sooner than later, it'll just be a regular hotel.
Yeah,
they won't have all the fun stuff.
And it'll still be just as expensive.
Yeah, it'll still be just as expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Or more so.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, so that's the news I have. Yeah.
Great.
When I read that, I was just like, oh. And long ago, when Disney did the Year of a Million Dreams or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm. They were giving that stuff.
Where you could win, like you could just be in the park and somebody will walk up to you, which I wish they still did cool stuff like that, but they don't. We did that. Like we sat down on a bench at downtown Disney at the time, and all these people started cheering and running out towards us. And we're like, what's going on? And we won a portrait session, which we thought we won something really cool.
Oh, we get pictures of ourselves.
Yeah, we get pictures of ourselves. And we did it, and the pictures weren't that great. So I'm like, well, this was free because they weren't that great. Anyways, I don't know, $400 for pictures.
But it was free.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine if it's free, but not for $400.
No.
All right. So since we're on Disney, let's jump into Mickey's Not So Scary a little bit. It has started. It runs all the way through Halloween.
Through Halloween, usually the beginning of November, they start switching over to Christmas, right?
Yeah.
November 1st. So.
And everything in August is already booked solid, I think. I don't think any tickets left in August.
Halloween night is completely Halloween's completely sold out.
Because August they only do Tuesdays and Fridays. Because I was actually worried because Saturday, like that Saturday we're on our trip, we're going to Animal Kingdom during the day, and then we're going to go to Magic Kingdom at night. And I was like, oh crap, is it Halloween Horror Nights? Are they closing it? And we're not going to be able to get in. But it's only Tuesdays and Fridays.
Not so scary.
Yeah.
Not Halloween Horror Nights.
Whatever. Same thing. Basically the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Both very kid friendly.
Yeah.
But Mickey's Not So Scary is very expensive to start with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it still sells out like crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I think they have cut back the volume of tickets that they sell, from what I understand. Or at least they did last year. Now it's a different world than last year.
Yeah, I watched a video with the one that happened the other day, and it was completely sold out, like packed, and the lines were like super long to everything.
No.
Except for like if it was a Halloween thing, really long lines. But some of the other rides that were short.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go ride the rides that don't have anything to do with any overlays or any Halloween things, then it's sort of short. It still wasn't like a walk on. It was still,
Yeah. And that time we went. So did we end up doing the Halloween party in 2020 when we went? I don't remember. I feel like we ended up doing it. But we've gone other times. And
we've gone.
And the lines have been kind of crazy, and it's gotten busier. It's like just like but you can go to sections of it where it's not so packed, right? It's still not going to be as busy because it is later, so kids aren't going to be there as much. But we did go during Halloween the first time we went, and or it was like Halloween night or the night before Halloween or something like that. And that was a lot of fun because they had the lady sitting out there outside of Haunted Mansion, and she was talking to all of us. You need to eat a sandwich, and because I was dressed like a skeleton or something. But and then they do have usually have pirates these days in Pirates of the Caribbean, live actors, and
they have pretty four of them this time. They have one in the queue that's playing the old squeeze box singing the pirate song, and then they have 3 in the ride. One of them is basically in the dark. They don't have any lights on her. You just hear her like yelling at you, hey, I'm up here. And then they have 2 in another part of it. So in Space Mountain, the lights are completely out. Like there's no lights on. It's completely in the dark. And Mad Tea Party has like Halloween music playing in fog.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for ride later.
The pirate singing with the squeeze box, is he singing A Pirate Looks at 40 or
like
Margarita
Jimmy
Bell?
Buffett? Yeah,
he's singing the yo ho ho.
Oh, I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's fun, and they have lots of treats. And the Kyber Curator's on tonight. Hello, Kyber Curator. Welcome.
Hey.
Check out his channel if you're on YouTube. He's got a fun stuff. He reviews some of my Kyber crystals that you can find at I Am Geek Shop on Etsy. There's 2 new ones.
Plug? I gotta plug
two new Kyber crystals coming out probably next week if I get them all situated. So 2 new ones coming out, and I'll restock some of my other ones too. Anyways, Etsy, I Am Geek Shop. Check it out. All right, back to the
yeah, there it is.
Back to the regularly scheduled program. Yeah. So there's lots of treats. There's a Pain and Panic hot dog. It's basically a hot dog with Cheetos or fired Cheetos on it.
That sounds no.
There's a black tea slush.
Oh.
There's a fried hand pie. Doesn't that sound good? Sound very
yes,
sweet
hand pie.
Sweet, but no, it's not sweet at all. It's got chicken in it.
Oh.
So they call it a hand pie. Got googly eyes on it.
Okay.
They had some other.
The candy's the best thing though, because like you can go around as many times as you want to, carry any kind of bag you want to, and get as much as you want, and it's like good sized candy. It's not, some of it's kind of cheesy, but it's like Mars candy. It's not the off brand stuff.
Oh,
get a full bag of M&Ms if you want.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's amazing.
One of the videos I watched, the line for one of the candy things is like extremely long, just to get candy. So
just go there, get all the candy, and then use that candy to hand out to kids. You don't have to buy Halloween.
That's what
candy.
Some people do. You get so much of it, like it's ridiculous how much you can get. And they give you a tiny bag, but you can take whatever bag you want.
Bring a garbage bag.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey, fill her up.
I still have candy from last Halloween. You think it's still good?
Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, you
Probably
could try.
Not good. I had some the other day that it was not good. It was like some Whoppers.
I had some M&Ms and they were okay. I'm not sure about like the Reese's.
No, those were recalled.
Oh,
that's right. Peanut butter.
So basically they have the parade is back in full force. The Booty You parade, and it looks amazing.
The Booty You?
Booty You.
Booty You.
The Sanderson sisters are back with their show.
Yeah, the stage show at the castle. Yep.
Yes. Fireworks are back. Mm-hmm. And new for this year. New. Zombie dance party.
Zombies 3 dance party?
Aliens? Do they got aliens?
I know, it's just zombies from that music. It's at the it's at the place in Tomorrowland, the restaurant, the quick service place where Sunny Eclipse usually is. Yeah,
Cosmic Rays.
Sunny Eclipse isn't there. It's a zombie instead.
Well, I mean, Cosmic Rays. Tomorrow, you'd think they'd have to have the aliens.
You would think.
Maybe that's the surprise.
Probably not. Maybe they. Somebody watched the movie and was like, "Oh no, let's just do zombies."
It doesn't make any sense.
Zombie story was bad.
Somebody brought it up at lunch the other day.
Like a zombie.
Yeah, it sounded like a zombie. Somebody brought that up, that it was really bad. They were talking about it. It was like anything but that one. They were talking about some other shows that come on there. Or whatever. I can't think of the ones they were talking about right now. But
but if you have the extra funds, and you can actually get a ticket,
then you should go buy a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a fun time.
It is good.
Oh, and all right, Brian, put your order in now if you're wanting me to get you a lightsaber.
Oh my gosh!
Like ordering right this second, or because we're sort of in the middle of the show.
No, I'm sorry. You've got a 30-minute window to get your order in if you're wanting me to pick up a lightsaber for you.
I would love the Darth Maul lightsaber.
I need that in written form.
And the payment ahead of time.
Yeah, filled out in triplicate. I need the carbon copy. Make sure that's readable.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a lightsaber today. I didn't say which Tuesday.
I've seen Popeye. I'm very suspicious about this.
Anyways, that's the one. That's the one I want. Yes, if you can get the money to go, and a little spoiler warning. This year, if I had to choose between this and what else we're going to talk about, I would probably go to Not So Scary.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
It's a good event. Like the parade and the fireworks show and the stuff that happens there is a lot of fun, and it's really it's something you don't get to see now. We don't have a nighttime parade at Disney.
That's true. There's something new for the nighttime parade.
Oh, what's that?
Or
Max, Goofy's son, Max, is dressed up in the Powerline outfit. And they do a pre-show in the beginning of the parade where he comes out and does a whole dance routine. And you invite you to dance with them, the Powerline dance, which I'm sure Chris knows like the back of his hand.
Doesn't like that's just a taste.
And I saw a video of it, and it was so funny. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. So they're doing the whole parade, like the pre-show parade with Max Powerline dancing. They got all their choreographed dance going on with all their dancers.
Yeah.
And then from the side of the camera view, you see somebody walking, and then it's one of the custodial workers. And she just walks right through the middle of the dance routine, unfazed by it. About gets hit by Max, just unfazed, just walks through.
So sick of this.
All the way through. It was so hilarious.
For these people.
She had her broom and her little, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, there was a custodial emergency.
Just walk it through like, just get out of it. Just. I don't get paid enough for this. So that's I think it's everything that's new this year.
Do they still have the Headless Horseman? I thought I read that he was coming back.
Oh, I think
he is back.
That.
Yeah,
he is back.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool. The video I saw, you could tell that he was just. He may have had a rough night or something.
Oh,
he was like holding.
He wasn't getting ahead that day.
He was holding this. This represents his jack-o'-lantern. He was just sort of holding it to the side, like. But it would be more like go ahead.
Oh gosh.
Throw it through.
Okay.
But he was just sort of like
on his shoulders that night.
I've got my pumpkin.
So
but it is back. It is. I'm so sick of this. Kids everywhere.
So between that and the Christmas party, do you have a favorite between those?
The Halloween party, definitely.
Yeah, it's fun. The thing I do like about the Christmas party though is you can walk around and get all these cookies and hot chocolate and cider or whatever,
Maybe
Disney hot chocolate.
We'll see. That's an upcharge now. It's $300 if you want cookies.
And they have a cool parade too for that, like the big soldiers. But yeah, I think the Halloween is a lot better because you get to dress up, and they have the parade is phenomenal, and the fireworks show, and it's just more fun.
It's spoopy, and all the overlays.
And
Spoopy.
It's spoopy.
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 It is a lot.
That word's back.
It's back because it's that time of the year. So I would love. We don't get as of right now when we're going down. We fly in on Halloween.
Oh.
It's already sold out for them. So I've got to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with our children on Halloween.
Go to the mall. There's probably something.
Well, the cookie store.
Brick or treat at Legoland.
Well, the problem is we do want to go to Legoland this time if we can make it work.
Yeah.
Because my kids love Legos. But we're flying in and we don't get there until like 6.
Yeah.
So I don't want to buy a park ticket for them because we don't have annual passes for Disney. Or I have an annual pass. My wife has an annual pass, but they don't because
they're of age.
Disney.
Too bad for them. I guess you're going.
So I don't want to buy them a park ticket to go for like a couple of hours.
Sure.
So I don't know if we'll go to Disney Springs.
Do anything like Disney Springs stuff? Yeah, you can take them to that cookie shop.
I mean, we can just beg for candy or stuff. Ghirardelli store.
There's got to be something.
I mean, you just walk by and Ghirardelli gives you a piece of chocolate.
That's right. Oh,
They don't.
I was going to say they stopped doing it
anymore
with COVID. Yeah. But there's got to be a trunk or treat or something nearby that you can go to. Like there's some free event.
I mean, we'll be at Disney, so
I'm sure some back alley somewhere in Orlando you can find something.
Well, they can still dress up and
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a trunk or treat last year at the police station, and they had the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 was there.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was really cool. Like it was the Memphis Ghostbusters Society or whatever they call themselves, you know. So that was cool.
That's cool. They used to do.
I take that back. That was totally wrong. That was at the Halloween store. What was at this was the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
And it makes less sense now.
It was the 80s, you know.
It was a great replica. I talked about it on the show, and it was amazing. Like it was so great. I forgot about it.
It's so good. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Man, we just need to move on.
They used to do stuff at Fort Wilderness for Halloween, but I don't know if they do that anymore.
Like around the campground, right?
Yeah. Like they would do
walk around like the airport or something.
That's
walk around the airport.
Yeah, go to like the Applebee's or like one of those like kiosk things that sell all kinds of phone equipment.
Or
they still do it.
The day before, we can just go to our neighbors' houses and be like, "Yeah, we know we're a day early, okay? But we know you have candy in there because it's not like you're buying it the day of. So just give the kids some candy. We got to go to Disney World tomorrow."
Oh, poor thing.
We know you have it. I mean, I can see it right
I know
there.
you're home.
That'd be sort of funny. Anyways. All right. Well, let's move on to the big one. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando. They also do it at the one in Hollywood. Well, they do it all the Universals pretty much. But we're going to be talking about the Orlando one because that's the one that I've been to and know the most about.
I've been to both.
And I know. You can talk about the Hollywood one. There is a house this year that it's at both parks, but if you want the full story of the house, you have to go to both parks. So like Orlando's doing half of the story and Hollywood's doing the other half of the story. So if you want the full story of the house, you got to fly back and forth, I guess.
No.
So, like at the end of the line, do they have like something ready to whisk you away to the airport?
Yep. Like
at the end of one, it's just like to be continued. But if you go to the other one, it's like, oh no, you can't come to this one. You got to go to the other one first. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on.
You won't know what's going on. So, it's the werewolf vampire mummy house, whatever it's. We'll get there.
Legends collide. Universal monsters.
Yes.
That
one. Okay, so if you we'll just start like this. So they finally announced everything. Used to, they would like string you along. They would have this big build up and everything. They announced a couple of the houses and then they just sort of vomited the rest of them out yesterday or whatever it was. Just like, here's the rest of them. If you used to also,
it kind of looks like that on the website too. It's like,
it's a vomit.
If you look at it, it's like here's the ones that we care about, and then there's some other
ones. used to, they would have sort of like a icon is what they called it of the event. So they would have Jack the Clown, or they'd have the Caretaker, or one year they had Bloody Mary, which they can't do that anymore. And they had some other ones. Anyways.
Yeah, she got cleaned up. She's
not so bloody.
They don't have the rights to use Bloody Mary anymore.
She goes by Margarita now.
They had the Usher. I really love the Usher. They only used him like once or twice, maybe. I wish they did the Usher, but the Usher, the movie Usher guy. Was really cool.
I thought the singer.
No, the movie, like a movie Usher. He was very creepy and cool. Anyways, this year, if you go to the website, right up front in the middle is The Weeknd. Yes, that guy from the Super Bowl.
Doesn't know how to spell weekend.
Yeah, he's their main attraction this year, and along with Michael Myers, which, okay, that makes sense, and the guy from Black Phone.
Well, that's a combo. That house is a combo.
But I mean, on the front of the website, like that's when you open it up, it's those three, and you're just like, Oh, this is okay.
I mean, he's got like red goggles on. It's scary.
So let's go through the houses, and then we'll get to something that I found weird and strange about the rest of the event. 10. This is from the website, so you can find it on there. But 10 mind-ripping haunted houses. Mind-ripping.
That's a new one to me. I never heard that.
Yeah. The Weekend After Hours Nightmare.
Ooh.
You love his music, but can you survive his mind? The Weekend is about to stalk your squad. They use squad a lot, and it's so annoying.
Yeah. Scream Squad. They call
it your friends that you come with is your Scream Squad. Okay, we'll start it with this. This is my first irk about Halloween Horror Nights now. Used to, Halloween Horror Nights was like Halloween Horror Nights. And now it seems to be more like Halloween Teeny Bopper Nights or something, where it's more geared to, which maybe I'm just getting old. Which
maybe.
That could be it. I'm just getting old. Whatever.
Old,
but now it's more geared to teenagers and taking selfies, pretty much. So
all about that hashtag.
They also, when they announced all this, they put out a commercial video, like a long video of a scare squad. These teenagers going to the park together, each getting murdered and killed in certain ways. But it's goofy, the video.
They use the word squad in all of these descriptions.
Yeah, every description.
To stalk your squad through this haunted house, a surreal living nightmare from his after hours videos. His nightmare is now yours.
Okay.
What's the before hours nightmare?
Okay. So if you've watched, all our geeks out there, our listeners, watchers, if you watch the Super Bowl show that he did, he had this like mirror maze, and that would be sort of cool if they do that. If they do that,
they won't do that.
I don't know. They may not, but that would be sort of cool. But I don't. They've used music artists before, and it's usually been my least favorite house. It's just sort of like, but he's a big time stadium filling musician, so maybe they've put a lot of money into it and it's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know the image that they have on the page with all the houses listed. It looks like a bad Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah,
to me.
His face is all bandaged.
Yeah, or like a series of Twilight Zone episodes, right?
Yeah,
like a movie, because it's like, here's this little thing, and
it's got like a Star Trek lizard man, and then a girl with a doll mask, and another girl that looks like she's got a skin condition with a knife. I don't know.
Leprosy, maybe, or something.
Yeah. So is there going to be
maybe?
Is there going to be dinosaurs in this house?
I'm thinking some type of lizard people. Maybe it is the whole like Hollywood is lizard people.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just that one.
Politicians are lizard people.
Maybe it's just that one dinosaur from Jurassic Park 3. That goes, Alan.
Oh, yeah. Probably that one. Alan.
And somehow he knows your name when you walk through. So he's like, Chris, Brian, Chris. Scare me. The dinosaur knew my name.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, so I don't, and it could be the best house this year. It could be fun. I
mean, never know.
I don't know. Next one on the list is Halloween from the the movies. Oh, we lost Chris.
Oh well.
The Weekend took him.
He wishes it was the Weekend. Am I right?
Anyway, they've done the Halloween house many times before. Like they've done Halloween 2. Yeah. They've never done Halloween 3 for whatever reason. which is the season of the witch, which would have been really cool. This one, it says, his beginning is your end. Silent, merciless, relentless. There's nobody like Michael Myers. And if your Scream Squad is ready, this year you can gather together and face the terror of Halloween from the very beginning. My problem, I love the original Halloween movie. This year it steps into the original 1978 horror classic Halloween, which they've done that one before. Because they've done that one before, I wish they were doing maybe the new Halloween movies for a house. It seems like with this one, it's like, hey, remember we got that stuff in that building back there.
Well, yeah, right. It seems like an easy one to fall back on, right?
Yeah. Let's just bring that house back out and use it, which it feels like a lot of this year is going to be like that, which we'll get into. So they're doing the original Halloween movie again. I think this is like the third time they've done it. I think. I could be wrong. I've been through the original Halloween house. So
I remember, I think it was back in like 2011 or 2012. I went to the LA one, and it was Michael Myers. It was Halloween. Yeah.
All right,
for a while.
That's the second one. Now we got the horrors of Blumhouse. Twice the scream, twice the terror.
Didn't have enough info from either movie to make one house on its own. We're putting two
Every
together.
time they've done a Blumhouse, it's always multiple Blumhouse movies they put together in a house. So if you haven't seen the movies, you'll just be walking through going, what the heck? I thought we were just in this other, movie, but now we're in a different movie. It says, get ready for blood-curdling new double feature of Blumhouse horror as your Scream Squad. Oh, gosh, I hate that. Faces a ruthless serial killer and freaky, and an evil kidnapper in the relentlessly terrifying The Black Phone.
Okay. Have y'all watched that movie yet?
Freaky is
Freaky's good.
Yeah, Freaky's good. I have not watched Black Phone.
It's more comedy than horror.
Yeah,
me, at least. So.
And usually they have some comedy elements in their houses. So that's just it's going to be what it is. I don't know if it's going to be that great. The Blumhouse ones that I've been through were not that great. They just sort of crammed a bunch of his movies into a house, which it seems like that's what they did. Like they did one year, they did the for part of it was the movie where it repeats a day, the Groundhog Day type.
Oh, Happy Death Day.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, if you hadn't seen that movie, you would be like, why am I walking through the same room in this house over and over again? Because it's the exact same room. You just walk through it and then you're like, wait a minute. You just walk through this room? So,
well, I mean, at least they're doing something that's current to what's going on. What movies are out now? I mean, at least with the Black Phone, but
I don't think many people saw the Black Phone.
No, but I mean, maybe Black Phone people paid them a lot of money to be in there. So.
Oh no, Blumhouse, yes, they have a deal with them. That's what I said. Okay, now this is the Universal Monsters house, which we talked about. It's the Wolfman versus Dracula versus the Mummy.
Legends collide.
Yes.
If you ready?
Coming in weighing at 175 pounds. He'll drink your blood and swoo you at the same time. It's Dracula.
If you thought one Universal monster was scary, how about 3? Better summon your Scream. I can't even say it. Scream Squad. Because you're about to get caught in the middle of an epic battle between the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy together for the first time ever. Ever?
No.
Their mission.
In movies, they're in their Universal monster movies.
Basically. Their mission to find the amulet that will break their curse, and they'll destroy anyone who gets in their way.
Yeah, because obviously they did not see Monster Squad.
I know, it's basically Monster Squad.
It's Scream Squad, guys. It's not Monster Squad.
Yeah.
I wish they did a Monster Squad house.
That'd be a good house.
But
kick the Wolfman and the Nards.
I know. I love Monster Squad house. I'd be very tempted to go if they had a Monster Squad house. I think in this one, it's basically the Mummy and Dracula want the amulet to control things, and the Wolfman wants to cure himself with it. I think that's what it is. And you have to go to both coasts to get the full story. So it could be fun, though. I mean, there are other monster houses, Universal monster houses they've done have been really fun. So that one will probably be good.
Sure. I really hope they have a to be continued at the end of it.
Yes. Go to LA. Spirits of the Coven. Not the oven. The Coven. Is the next one. This will be an original house. So it's not based on anything. No IPs involved.
A lot of witches just drinking.
No.
It seems like
kind of spirits.
It's in a speakeasy.
No. Yeah, it's a coven of beautiful flapper witches.
Oh.
Will lure you into their 1920 speakeasy, reveal their haggish true form, and turn your scream squad into a witch's brew. I wish they would turn the scream squad.
Yeah, hey there, sugar. Why don't you come in and have a turn around the room?
They'll be cackling. You'll be screaming. I was listening to Scares on the podcast, which a friend of the show who's been on the show, Logan Seculo, does it. And they were talking about this one, and you need to go listen to their, because they go in more in depth than we are. They're like, it sounds like somebody went to Party City and like, hey, they got a bunch of flapper outfits. Those are cheap. Let's get those and we'll turn it into a house. It could be fun though.
I mean, it could be fun. Like it could look kind of cool. I hope they have like secret passages and like, I mean, it's a speakeasy type thing, knocking on doors and having to go through.
That'd be cool, fun. But they probably won't do that.
I'm guessing.
A great idea. They won't do it
because it's Congo line, so they basically just lead you through, and they're not gonna. The front of it will probably look like something else, and you'll go through and you're like, oh, we're in a speakeasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing all the witches will be like nice and sexy and everything at the beginning, and then they'll be like haggish form.
They'll be eating haggis.
They'll be eating haggis. They all turn Scottish.
And they'll be
at the end of it.
All right, let's get through these. The next original house. The next original house is called Bugs Eaten Alive.
Oh, it's a sampling. So you go through and eat bugs.
These bugs are out to exterminate you. While touring, this is so weird. I'm just going to say it from the beginning. I don't know how they put these together. While touring a 1950s Home of the Future, you'll be surrounded by the slime of bugs everywhere as hordes of many-legged terrors descend upon you and your scream squad. You'll be dropping like flies.
So it makes me think of the old movies with the giant bugs that are attacking, like you would see at the Sci-Fi Drive-In at Disney, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the big ones or if it's just little ones, because little ones would be what freak me out, like seeing cockroaches crawl across things or something crawling on your arm, because I don't like that. But.
Supposedly this house, for the creators that are making these, is a tough one for them to walk through.
So it probably is something like that where it's got bugs crawling out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I know they're bringing back the stuff that they'll have stuff that will be like at your face level that you'll like walk into.
Do you remember going to the haunted house, the Ripley's haunted house in Gatlinburg?
Happy birthday! Yeah, I remember.
So they had like strings. I mean, they were just strings because you couldn't see, but it was basically just strings hanging down, and you hear bee noises, so you think it's bees touching your face, Yeah. And then there were things touching your legs as you walked through, and you couldn't see any of it. Like it was really well done, and it was a little freaky. So imagine something like that.
They took away all that stuff for COVID restrictions.
Sure.
Now this was the first year they're bringing it back since all that happened.
This you can really walk through history with these houses. I mean, you start in the 1920s at the Speakeasy. you go over to the Legends Collide, going through the 30s, and then you get the 50s with the Bugs Eaten Alive, and then you can get into like the 70s with Halloween, going into like the 90s, 2000s with Blumhouse, and then ended up at the Weekend.
Whatever.
Well, we got some other ones that are going to fill in those time gaps.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The next one, Fiesta de Chupacabras.
That's what that says. I was like, what is Feistade? Because it looks like it's all together. It's Fiesta.
I thought it was Fiesta Aid.
No, it looks like Feistade.
Oh gosh.
I thought so. They got
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, people.
They got a blood splatter in between the A and the D that to me looks like an I on a small screen at least. And so I read Fiesta Aid, Chupacabras. So like they're raising money for Chupacabras. Like
just in the comics, Lazen, if you're still here, we'll get to your question here in a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Once we get through this, because if I do it now, it'll be sort of weird and random.
Yes, we will get to that.
We will get to that if you're still there. Okay, so listen to your abuela and beware the chupacabras. Visit a Latin American village where the legend of the creature chupacabras is celebrated with a colorful fiesta. And the streets are lined with the crimson blood of tourists.
I don't think
like you and your amigos. Okay, you know what I really like about that's what I say. You know what I really like about this description of this house? It does not say Scream Squad anywhere.
They didn't even do Scream Amigos.
I know.
Maybe that's what Amigo stands for.
This one looks sort of interesting and fun to me. If they do the Chupacabra thing right, it could be really cool.
It could be cool, yeah. Like you see it going across or something.
Yeah. Chupacabras can be scary or very kind of corny. It depends on how they do it. So it'd be interesting.
Well, if you think about what made you maybe don't agree with this, but what made the movie Signs scary was that you barely saw the alien. Yeah. You're just like, what was that? You know? It's like if they could do that with the Chupacabra, where it's like use a video or something that's just like you just see it kind of go across somewhere.
Yeah, we watched Signs again recently, and it's really good. And then they show the whole thing, and it's like that's CG.
It gets bad, no, but it's like the first part of it, I guess is what I mean. Like it's the part where you just see the leg stick out, and they freeze, and they're just like, oh my gosh.
Even like the grainy video at the kid's birthday party. Yeah, when you see it go through like that. That's like one of the biggest scares of a movie is seeing that, and that was really good.
It was good. So they can do that. We recently watched the Expedition Unknown with Josh Gates, right? And they were talking about the Chupacabras. You know, he was down there, and it was like there was a whole marathon a couple weeks ago. We were in Arkansas and watched it, and we were literally got up at like 8 or 9 o'clock and watched it all day till we went to bed, I think. But it that was one of the episodes, and it was cool. I like that one.
Chupacabra. So I'm like, I would like to do that.
Suckers.
Yes.
Nice day.
Every year, or most every year, there seems to be one house that you look at it and you go, I think that was replacing something that has been put in at the last minute. I think an IP did not work out, and it's been replaced by this. It happened one year with Scream. They were supposed to have the Scream house. And you could definitely tell by the sits that it was supposed to be the Scream house, but they're like, nope, that fell through, so let's purge it up and make it the Purge. But it was definitely the house for Scream. It was definitely every year there seems to be one that falls through. When you're dealing with IPs, like we do all the time, you know.
Yes,
as you do,
as you do. It's gonna fall through. It's gonna. So I think I could be totally wrong, but this next house seems like it was probably supposed to be something else. They changed it. It's called, Hellblock Horror.
I get what they did there. They covered up the C with an H.
Oh.
As these monsters escape their prison, there's no escape for you. Enter a prison whose savage inmates are monstrous creatures. If they break free from their cells, it's a death sentence for everyone.
For your Scream Squad.
This one doesn't say Scream Squad either.
Yeah, Scream Squad is not welcome here. Yeah.
No, it's in the next one.
It sure is. I see it now. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it at first.
Here's my thoughts on this, and some other people have had this thought too. I think this may have been part of season 4, right? Of Stranger Things.
Okay.
Oh, so
the Russian prison.
The Russian prison. Oh. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. So. Yeah.
Because they've had Stranger Things before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that would be a big get, like,
because it is
bringing in a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would bring in more people than The Weeknd. Just my opinion. My opinion. Maybe not.
But it's also because it's a real easy we got these jail cells. Let's just throw some monsters behind there. We don't even have to be specific on what kind of monsters. It's just creatures.
It's just like there's some monsters.
You got a mask? Come on.
Yeah. Because it seems very generic now.
Yeah.
Very we got to do something with these set pieces that we already have. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but it's fun to think that way. I don't know.
Could be.
The next house is the one that I'm like, this looks cool. Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake. Now they did a scare zone. Dead Man's something, I think, or they've done something like this before, which was really cool when they did it as a scare zone. In a New England fishing village, undead fishermen emerge from the waves to seek their revenge. You and your, who, Scream Squad may have escaped their hooks in the scare zone. Yeah, so this was a scare zone.
Oh, okay.
Now they'll reel you in and drag you under. They do really cool things with water effects at Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm thinking this is going to be a cool house. Cool. Because not only you probably have water effects, but you're going to have snow, you're going to have ice.
That's cool.
The scare zone was really cool. I think it was called Dead Man's Wharf or something like that. I think this is going to be a cool house.
Reminds me like the movie, like The Fog or something.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
They could do some really cool effects in this house.
Maybe Tom Welling shows up. Great.
Maybe. Well, he's got time, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the last house. It is Descendants of Destruction. Deeper, darker, deadlier. Careful not to leave any of your
Scream Squad.
Thank you. Behind as you descend the subway tunnels of a deserted New York. Lurking in the dark are hungry mutants looking to feast on the last remnants of humanity.
I mean, if done right, this could be cool.
Yeah, it could be cool.
Because I've always found it interesting because I mean there are just a whole underworld basically under New York. In the subway tunnels and everything. There's the book, The Reliquary. It's the sequel to The Relic. If anybody has read that, and it delves into this whole community and underground living of people underneath New York, and it could be cool if done right.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it could be cool. So yeah, okay. So that's the haunted houses. We're gonna go through these other things really fast. Used to, long ago, I remember the first time Chris and I went to this event.
Yeah.
We had so much fun in what they called scare zones that we didn't even go into the houses because the scare zones are so fun. Since then, scare zones have become selfie zones pretty much, where you go take your picture with people. And they don't really scare you. And it's
people dancing in cages.
It's basically, you got that. And you got scenes set up where you can go stand in front of them and get, let's get a selfie with our Scream Squad. now on the website, they don't even have a section called Scare Zones. It's under Things to Do.
Oh, I was going to say, they do have 5 sinister scare zones.
Yeah, but they don't. They're not putting it. They used to put an emphasis on it. Like there was one year where they did this whole like World War II thing that was like phenomenal. That was the scare zones were as good or better than some of the houses. They were just cool to walk through. Now they've been regulated to the Things to Do page on the website, which does not give me high hopes for them. 5 sinister scare zones. It says. Horrors of Halloween, The Pumpkin Lord, which is from a house from last year. I didn't go last year because I didn't want to pay to go to it. Pretty much, we were there, and I was just like, I don't even want to pay to go to it because the year before was so bad, or whenever the last time I went was so bad. Horrors of Halloween, The Pumpkin Lord, The Spirit of Halloween has taken over this year's event. Which, see, this could be an icon right here. Why do they write it like that?
Weird. Yeah, it says taking over this year's event, but not really. The weekend took over.
So many hordes of fiend creatures. Terror has taken root. This sounds cool. I hope it's cool. I hope it's not just, hey, look, I have a pumpkin head. Come take my picture.
Well, maybe it's like a surprise, and the pumpkin head removes his mask, and it's the weekend.
Maybe. I think this one's going to be in the front of the park, like right when you come in. Which would be cool. I'm on my phone. Is it not going to let me turn to the next?
It doesn't work on the phone. On the website, if you're online, you can do it. I've got it here.
You take over then.
Yeah. The next one is Scarecrow Cursed Soil,
which was another house that they've turned into a scare zone.
Yeah, an abandoned farm. Scarecrows have risen from the crust of the earth to hunt you and seek revenge. They'll harvest your screams.
Squad. Which the house for the house for the Scarecrow house they did a few years back was so good. It was like one of the best houses. It was in one of their tents, which you think that's not going to be that good, but it was so good, and the costumes were great. So, and I think they've grown actual corn for this scare zone, which is cool, but also bad because it's sort of cursed. Because every time Halloween Horror Nights has grown corn for their event, or their scare zone or house or somewhere they have corn that you walk through or whatever, it's been completely destroyed by a hurricane. So I would be like, maybe we shouldn't grow corn because every time we do, there's a hurricane that comes through. So it's cool. If they do it right, it's gonna be cool. If it's just a selfie zone, it's not gonna be cool.
Yeah. The next one looks like a level in Cuphead, I think, based off the image. Sweet Revenge. The sweets from Major Sweets Candy Company have turned children into crazed killers. This Halloween's all trick, no treat, and total mayhem.
Oh, it's a wrestling theme.
Yeah. And the Scudder.
So it's going to be people that are child size that they hired.
Yes, child size people.
To run at your ankles.
Oh. Yeah, and some guy running. That guy's 40.
Makes me want to kick. Makes me want to kick.
He's got a full beard. And then there's 2 more. There's
that one's going to be in New York, by the way. The New York.
Oh, New Sweet Revenge is in New York. Yeah, I think so.
The Scarecrow one, I think, is going to be in Central Park area. No, wait.
Corn in Central Park.
I think maybe. Okay. I don't know.
It's crazy. The next one is Graveyard Deadly Unrest.
Based on another scare zone based on a house that they did. Graveyard Games.
On All Hallows Eve, a dark storm descends upon a cemetery and awakens long dead spirits. No one living can escape them.
The house was fun. I don't know how it's going to transfer into a scare zone. It could be.
I mean, if they make it into like a big graveyard, I mean, that could be cool to walk through.
I think if I remember where it's at, it's gonna. If it's where I think it's at, I don't know how it's gonna work.
Minions.
I think it's like in the Hollywood Boulevard.
That's where sweet.
In the Hollywood Boulevard area, which doesn't make sense if that's where it's at.
Go through this and then go on a new Pets ride.
Huh.
Is there one more?
There's one more. Yeah, one more. Conjure the dark. On the first All Hallows Eve, an evil sorceress called forth monstrosities from dark dimensions. Now your blood will fuel them.
All right. I don't know.
They just want your blood like that. I guess no meat or anything.
These could be good, but they could just also be selfie zones.
I mean, the logo Conjure the Dark looks like some 70s show, so we'll see.
Yeah, probably selfie zone. And then they're going to have two live shows.
No, 2 outrageous live shows.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
What they call it, outrageous.
Halloween Nightmare Fuel Wildfire.
Don't be too excited now.
Used to they had the Bill and Ted show, which was a comedy show, which is fun. They got rid of that, and now they have acrobatics and stuff like that play with fire. The show that sparked a firestorm last year. I didn't see it because I didn't go, but I heard it was better than the dance show they had the year before. That tells you anything. Is ablaze with a new nightmare. The pyro and aerial performers are back to reignite your fears. It's something I would watch on YouTube, maybe, but I don't know if I would take time. Maybe if it was a pour in the rain, I'd go see it.
Well, then all the fire would be put out.
No, it's undercover. And then there's the Ghoulish Halloween Tale. On a Halloween night, another Halloween night. Everything's happening on Halloween night.
Really interesting.
A ghost story becomes reality as you go beyond the grave in a spectacularly spooky show on the Universal Studios Lagoon. So basically, they have these big ball things that they project on. They've done this a few years. I've never stopped to watch it. I've just walked by it. It's just sort of in the lagoon, so it goes, and you're like, oh, look, there's some kind of show going on. I'll watch it on YouTube. It's just like, I mean, this year might be good. It may be an actual show. The past year just been like, let's project a scene from this horror movie onto it. And then let's project a scene from this horror movie onto it. And then they have certain rides and attractions. You'll scream just as loud on our rides. Some of which will be open. It's never the new rides.
Of course not.
Because they want you to come back during the day for those. So usually the Harry Potter ride's open. Man in Black's open.
Mummy is usually.
Mummy, if it's, Transformers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Fallon usually isn't open. Maybe Rip Ride Rocket. Yeah. And then there's.
Sorry. They have. They're listed like all the stuff you can buy.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and I'm just very upset there's nothing with the term Scream Squad on it.
They need to.
Let's make your own.
It does say never go alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, never go alone.
It has a handprint on it.
That's
asking for somebody to touch you.
Like, that's what they've been using for the past 3 years. Never go alone. And then there's scary good food, so they're going to have the pizza fries back.
Yeah.
Pizza fries. It's scary.
Yeah. And if you watch the video that they released, the commercial thing, the Scream Squad bumping each other and they spill their pizza fries.
That is scary.
It's just stupid. Last thing I thought we could look at, if I can pull it in, was the prices.
Real
$79.
Quick. Oh, there you go.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
I can't get it to work though.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Real quick, the one in LA, the best thing to do at the LA one is the Terror Tram. That's the backlot tour, where typically like you basically stay on the tour bus usually, but in the past years I've gone out there you'll be on the tour bus, but then they'll stop and you'll actually get out and you get to walk through some of the areas. So you get to walk past like the Psycho House and the Bates Motel. And the year I went through, you walked through like a bunch of white sheets that are hung on clotheslines, and Mike Myers was going in and out of them. It was really cool.
I wish they had something like that at
Yeah.
Orlando. And they have basically it's from War of the Worlds where they have like the big plane that's crashed and like all that stuff. So they got fire and everything, and they got people going in and out of that stuff. It's really cool.
So the cheapest ticket is $73.99.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes up from there. That's like going on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think on Halloween, it's cheap. Because most people don't go on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up from there to crazy. But here's the thing. If you want to have a good time now at Halloween Horror Nights, you sort of have to splurge and buy the Express Pass, which basically is like the old Fast Pass for us Disney people. Well, the cheapest Fast or Express Pass is $119.
Yeah.
So you have to buy the ticket for $73.99 if you're going on a Wednesday. And then on top of the $73.99, you got to buy the Express Pass if you want to do everything, pretty much, for $119. But it goes way up from there. I think it goes up to only like $190 or something for the Express Pass.
Wow,
it's ridiculous. And that's one reason that I didn't go last year, because I'm like, I don't want to spend extra money for Express Pass, because the year before we went and we didn't have the Express Pass, and I think we went through 2 houses and that was all we had time for. 2 or 3 houses because the lines were so long. Used to wasn't like that. I mean, you could get the Express Pass, but you didn't really need it. But now it's just blown up so big that it's just so crowded all the time, which makes the scare zones even worse, because you're just walking through a horde of people and you don't even know there's people scaring you there, because you've got drunk guy on your left and drunk girl on your left or right, and they're more scarier
on your left.
Yeah, they're more scarier than the scare actors that are there.
Captain America's on your left.
Yep, on your left. They are bringing back the dining package thing where you get to dine with some of the scare actors. They
so
walk around
hot and sweaty.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
But you can do the Halloween Horror Nights RIP tour.
Yeah,
for $300.
$300.
Ooh.
And I'm sure that changes based on night.
Yeah, it's from $300. Yeah.
If I had the money, that's what I would do.
Sure.
Because you get a VIP, you get a person that walks you through everything, a tour guide, and takes you basically through secret doors where you don't have to wait in line at all.
That's cool.
But if you live there, though, one of these multi-night tickets would be the way to go, because then you could just do a little bit at a time and not have to feel like you do everything. Like the first package is from $129, and you get access to the first 17 nights.
Yeah, that's the way to go if you live in Florida.
Yeah,
yeah.
And even the ultimate, when you think about how much you're paying for all this stuff, it's $324 per person. That's, if it's just you, it's not that bad for every night. Like you can go every night.
Yeah.
And if you live there, it makes a lot of sense. Doesn't if you don't. But
I think it'd be hard pressed enough to try and go every night, though.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work. I mean, it's the YouTuber pass, right?
Yeah, the YouTuber pass.
They should rename it.
That will probably be how I experience it this year, through the YouTubers. I love Halloween and I loved Halloween Horror Nights, but the past few years it feels like, I said this to somebody else, I think, it feels like they're living off their laurels, the old phrase. They know they're going to sell a lot of tickets.
Not from the Flapper House?
Yeah. Anyways, they know they're going to sell a lot of tickets. They know they're going to make a ton of money. So why put forth the effort? You know?
Yeah, it's a little 23 skidoo.
They know. Well, that just means we got a good thing going. Why change? Why put any effort in? Why change anything? And it feels like that's the time period there now. They go, let's change it up a little bit to make the teenagers come in.
Yeah.
Get all their money. Which makes it Nothing against teenagers. they're so annoying at these events. So between the teenagers, but between the teenagers and the drunk people, it's just like,
yeah.
When there's so many of them,
Sure.
In a group.
They know they're going to make the money, so like, why pour money? Because used to the website was elaborate and cool, and you could find all kinds of secret stuff, and there were stories behind everything. And there was an icon, and there was an overall arching story with everything. Well, they're like, we're going to make the money anyways. Why bother putting money into that? Mm-hmm. So we'll just have the generic website with the weekend on the front of it. They used to have the scare zones that were actually scary. Well, we're bringing in so much people. Why put any effort in that? Just make it a place to take pictures. Yeah. And then we'll put it on the things to do page. Mm-hmm. They used to have the Bill and Ted's, which made fun of pop culture. Why put money into that? Because we have to pay money for all those IPs.
Yeah.
So let's just do this. Let's have people on fire dancing around. So I think it's just it feels like that Bob Chapek has gone over to Universal and taken over the event.
It's a money grab.
Yeah, it's a money grab. That's all it is anymore. It feels like. And I hate to say that because I loved it. And I think with them making Epic Universe their new park, they're putting all their creative resources into that.
Mario World.
Yeah, and this is just sort of taking the back burner.
But I think you've made a good point, though. It's with the volume of people they're putting in there, you have to cut back somewhere, because it can't be too elaborate because you've got so many people coming through, right? And it's
and you have to have a certain number of haunted houses to kind of get the flow of people going through, and they can't do like an IP or whatever for everything. I'm sure a lot of these are using.
Oh, I like from before. I prefer the original houses, or I used to. I haven't been a couple of years, but because the original houses are really cool, they do a good job of them. But yeah, it seems like they're not. It's sort of like the movie industry these days. There's really no original ideas left. It's just like, let's make another one of these movies. Let's reboot this movie. So it feels like especially all the scare zones are like, we got all those props from those houses that we did.
Yeah.
Let's just reboot them into scare zones. And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. So it's the reboot. Halloween Horror Night. The reboot. Join your scare squad as we reboot you into our world again.
No.
You made me spill my pizza fries. Anyway, sorry if I complained too much on this episode.
But
we're not going to sugarcoat things.
We're not going to sugarcoat things. And if I'm there and I just reach into my pocket, I'm like, oh, look, there's $80. Where'd that come from? Guess I'll go to Halloween Horror Nights. That'd be the only reason I'd probably go. Or if somebody invited me and said, I'll pay for you to go to prove you wrong with your scare squad.
Be in my squad.
Be in my squad.
I need reminds me of the Teen Girl Squad. The ugly one. Strong Bad for those. Not.
Yes. No. Homestar Runner.
Yes. Well, that's true. It is Homestar Runner. Yeah. But it was Strong Bad that wrote the cartoon, right? It's doing that.
It was like, so it's Homestar Runner, and then you got one of the characters, Strong Bad, and then he has the Teen Girl Squad.
Teen Girl. Arrow.
So that's so we'll wrap that up. We had a question on YouTube that I cannot answer because I have not got to watch She-Hulk yet. But it says, not that excited about She-Hulk episode 2. What can I do to remedy this? I would say, not having watched it, hang in there, because usually with these shows,
They get better. Watch episode 1 again because I liked it.
I have not watched it, so I can't give a critique on it.
It's definitely more of a sitcom feel than other Marvel shows, and it's definitely more humor based. I think the lead actress is a good choice for this. She's good in Orphan Black. She's a good actress. I thought she did a really good job. The effects I thought were better than they were in the trailers. I'm sure they were still working on them basically when they put the trailers out. So nothing really bothered me about any of it. Some shots I thought were really nice, especially. But I liked it. I thought it was a good first episode, and I feel like
was it like? You think the first episode was like a setup for the rest of the series?
I mean, it is definitely a setup episode.
Okay.
But I thought they did it in a good way, that it wasn't like, okay, here's this happening, and now here's this happening. I thought it had some good pace to it. I thought.
I need to watch it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just me. I'd say just hang in there, give it another episode a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But
plenty more things coming.
I think it's got potential. I think it could be
good. It can. Daredevil will be there sometime, right?
Yeah, and I mean, get your She-Hulk squad together. And sit down and watch it.
I think the episode title is gonna have to do with
Scream Squad.
Or Scream. What is it? Scream Squad?
Scream Squad.
Scream Squad.
Yes. Scare zones and Scream Squads. Squads.
Ridiculous.
But so next week, the new Game of Thrones spin-off show or prequel show is starting on HBO Max.
So question for you two.
Okay.
Game of Thronesy people. What do you call yourself? I don't know.
People who watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we watched Game of Thrones.
Throners.
If Throners. If someone, I don't know who, has never watched Game of Thrones, do you think this is a show they could watch and not be lost since it's a prequel, or will they still be like, I don't know what's going on?
No clue.
Without having seen any of it, I don't know what to tell you.
Because I haven't even watched the trailers or anything.
I mean, you would think, since it is a prequel, that you could probably go into it.
I would imagine so.
And because even if, there are so many characters and so much history in Game of Thrones that, like, even if they'd already explained any of this in the previous thing, they're going to have to explain it again because no one's going to remember.
No. But the people that read the books, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really, wrong. I've watched one episode of Game of Thrones and I was like,
It was a lot to keep track of because there's so many stories and it's a soap opera, things that are happening, and you have to keep track of all these different timelines of things and all those, well, not timelines, but storylines. And it was hard to keep track of sometimes, but it got easier as it went along, and I think they dumbed it down a little bit as they went along.
Killed more people. You didn't have to pay attention to them
You didn't have to worry about Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check it out. We'll see. But if you want something that you don't have to keep track of anything, there's a show that we watched. We watched the whole thing last night on Netflix. It's called Man vs. Bee. Starring Rowan
Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson, who played Mr. Bean. Each episode is like 9-10 minutes long. So that's how we watched the whole thing last night. There's like 9 episodes. So, but it's hilarious. It's about this man who gets this job house sitting, and a bee gets in the house, and craziness ensues. Between him and this bee in the house. And
it looks funny.
It's funny. Check it out. It's on Netflix. We just stumbled across it. It wasn't like on the, new releases or anything. It was just, I was scrolling and I was like, what is this? Because I saw Mr. Bean. And the trailer, you know how when you scroll on Netflix, the trailer just pops up.
Yeah.
So it started. And then I scrolled past it and my wife was like, no, go back. It's like, that looks funny. I'm like, okay, let's watch this. And it was funny. It gets a little ridiculous towards the end, but it's Mr. Bean. So
is this what you're streaming?
I guess so. That's what I was streaming last night, but we're done with it.
Okay. We've been streaming. We're not through streaming. Sandman, which is on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's been pretty good. I've been enjoying it so far.
I've made it to the death episode.
We just got there.
And I was sort of like,
There is a lot of, I mean, if people have read the comics, they've done a lot of changes where they've like meticulously kind of took it out of the DC universe, where they're saying Constantine, but
I know that made me.
They're even saying it a little different because I mean, John Constantine, yeah. John Constantine, who they had the two characters in the comic. She was the ancestor because he mentions in the show that I've dealt with the Constantine before. I'm just going to say Constantine. I'm sorry. And that was her character in the past, in like the 1920s or something. But since they're pushing it away from DC, they took John Constantine out and they put her character in present day, and using her character instead. And then, there were various other DC heroes that they kind of took out or repurposed a little bit.
It's been interesting, but the death episode's pretty depressing. So I started watching it and then I stopped.
Yeah, it's not an uplifting show.
No,
at all.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I also started when I stopped watching that, I switched over to Lock and Key. The third season just started.
We haven't finished second season.
I haven't.
Oh, that's good.
I don't even know if I started the second one. I was like, I feel like it just came out.
Really good. This is the final season, so supposedly they wrap it all up.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So,
what Catron? What are you streaming?
I told you earlier we're watching Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, but
earlier
he said, I was going to say.
He said Quinn. No, that's
I know,
that's yours.
But that's not yours. No. We watched the movie Sea Beasts on Netflix. Have y'all seen that?
Oh, is it any good?
I've seen part of it.
It's
pretty
pretty good.
All of it yet. But,
it's weird because there's some language in it that you're like, why did you do that? But it's not bad. It's just like a couple of things, but it's not bad. But otherwise, it's a pretty good movie. Like it was a little bit different than I thought it would be, but it was pretty good. I thought it was decent.
The animation is really nice. I mean, it's done by people that worked at Disney. Basically,
right? Yeah, it was people that worked on Moana.
Scary?
Yeah,
and no. I mean, there's probably a couple parts that maybe a little bit, but not really. It feels a little bit like I don't think so. If it is, it's really brief and that's it because it takes a turn and it's different. So but it does. At times it feels like Pirates of the Caribbean, and then. Some other things I can't think of right now, but it's pretty good. It's got it's got a good story. I don't think they try to push any agendas or anything like that or whatever.
It's got a little bit of
a agenda.
A little bit of How to Train Your Dragon type feel too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's probably a good comparison. Maybe a little bit of Jonah, but. And
the brothers? Oh.
Moby Dick.
Oh, that's the Jonas.
I know. I'm just kidding. All right.
It was good. Good.
Oh, cool. I may check it out. Family movie night. All right. Well, I think that's. I don't know how we're doing on time, but I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Hello to Winchester. He's at Hollywood Studios right now, so he's watching Hollywood Studios. Have to get him back on the show sometime. Anyways, all right. This has been episode 248 of I Am Geek, and we'll be back next week with an all-new episode. Something fun, something new, and of course, something geeky. I mess it up every time. One day I'll get it right. Anyways, all right. We'll see you next week with maybe a special guest. We'll see. Oh, the feelers out there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.